Ever packed your boyfriend's suitcase while burning up with a fever, only to find out 3 days later he was at a pool party with another girl sitting on his lap? Yeah, that happened. All right. So I wasn't even planning to share this, but my group chat basically forced my hand. They were like, you need to vent somewhere. So here I am. I'll probably regret putting this out there, but it's late. I'm pissed, and honestly, I just need to let it out. Anyway, hey, I'm Harper, 29 years old. I live in this tiny apartment with a scenic view of the dumpster and a dog downstairs that loses its mind every time a leaf dares to move. My boyfriend Marcus, he's 31, and we've been together for 2 years. Apparently, that's just enough time to start realizing someone might not be who you thought they were. Cool, right? For extra context, my sister Tessa is off living her best life 3 time zones away, and my mom texts me every single day to remind me to stay hydrated. So this all really blew up last week, but honestly, the red flags started creeping in before that. Marcus's behavior had been off. Nothing obvious or dramatic, just subtle things that didn't sit right, like leaving his phone face down every time. He swapped out his background from our goofy selfie to a solo pic of his dog. Not a big deal, I guess, but he didn't mention it. Just did it. Then he starts saying work's got him swamped, which okay, who isn't drowning a little? But it was like suddenly he didn't have time for anything that took more than an hour, especially dinner. And then I get sick. Like actually sick. Not a cute little sniffle. I'm talking body aching, head on fire, can't move kind of fever. Monday night, I drag myself to the kitchen for some orange juice, and boom, Marcus texts. Hey, can you help me pack for my work trip tomorrow? I'm slammed and can't find my blue shirt. I just stared at my phone, completely blank. Like, why is this suddenly my responsibility? But I said yes anyway. That's what you're supposed to do, right? I guess I was secretly hoping he'd realize I was a wreck and say, never mind, get some rest. But no, no such thing. So there I am, practically delirious, digging through his laundry while he paces around my living room on a work call. I'm coughing so hard my eyes are leaking, and he's just moving piles of clothes from chair to chair, like he's solving a puzzle. I ask if he packed his charger. He barely looks up. Just mumbles something about using the hotel one. He mentions the trips for client meetings, whatever that's supposed to mean, and then casually drops that he'll be gone for 3 nights instead of 2. I say, oh, that's new. And he just shrugs like I'm being dramatic. What really stuck with me? He didn't even thank me. Just grabbed his suitcase, kissed my forehead like an afterthought, and I joked, cool, now you're definitely catching this. He just laughed and walked out. No real goodbye. Just text me if you need anything. Sure. Okay. The next few days were a fog of reheated soup, awful TV, and work emails I couldn't process. Marcus sent a few messages. Nothing meaningful. Just busy day or heading to dinner. No actual conversation. It felt like I was messaging a wall. I told my mom I was sick and she offered to DoorDash me some soup. And honestly, I said yes because I couldn't stay on my feet for more than 5 minutes. 3 days later, I can't sleep, so I'm scrolling through Instagram stories. That's when I see it. A notification saying I've been tagged. It's from Marissa, this girl I knew vaguely from college. We haven't talked in forever. She's throwing a pool party at some hotel downtown. I clicked just out of boredom, expecting some flashback to our college days. Instead, I get slapped in the face. There's Marcus, right there, in the background of her group selfie. Clear as daylight, shirtless, by the pool, sunglasses on, drink in one hand, and then there's a girl, blonde, in a bikini, literally sitting on his lap, not just near him, on him, her arms around him, laughing at something he's saying, and he's smiling. Not the polite, forced work smile, the real one, the one he uses when he thinks no one's paying attention. At first I just stared, like frozen. I actually zoomed in, thinking maybe I was hallucinating. I was on cold meds, maybe I imagined it. But no. Same watch, same dumb tattoo on his arm. It was him. So I scroll back through Marissa's story. More shots. Marcus playing some stupid poolside game. Marcus at a bar, clinking glasses with a crowd. Definitely not stuck in meetings. I felt like an idiot. I literally packed his bag, folded his shirts, put his toothpaste in one of those little travel baggies because he always forgets it every single time. And meanwhile, he's just out there. Doing what? Partying? Cheating? I don't even know what to call it. So I text him. Nothing crazy, just, hey, are you at a pool party? He doesn't respond for hours. I call, straight to voicemail, twice. Then finally a text. Super busy, talk later. By now I'm shaking with rage. I call again. This time he picks up. I hear music in the background. People laughing. He sounds tipsy, like I've interrupted some punchline. I ask him straight up, are you even on a work trip? Or are you just out partying? And he laughs, like it's a joke. Then in the calmest voice, like he's reading the weather forecast, he says, I'm just there, comfortable, predictable, not exciting, just filler, not the main event. He actually says the other girl, she's who he celebrates with, and I'm just the person he comes back to when he's bored. I couldn't even speak. I tried to argue, but he talked right over me. Said it's nothing personal, just that some people are good for fun and others are good for stability, and I'm the second kind. But to be honest, he's not even sure he wants that anymore. After that call, he hung up on me. I just sat there, staring at my phone until the screen faded to black. Then without even thinking, I chucked it at the wall. Not my finest moment, honestly. It bounced off. No screen damage, just a dent in the wall. I think I sat there for a while, completely drained. No tears, no screaming, just empty. My dog wandered over and rested his head on my lap like he could sense something was off. I stroked his fur, because what else could I do? I sent a text to my sister, but she was asleep. Time zones, of course. I didn't want to call my mom. I knew she'd offer to drive down and bring soup, and I didn't have the energy to explain any of this mess to her. What keeps echoing in my mind is how normal everything felt, until it suddenly didn't. Yeah, there were red flags, but nothing I could have pointed at and said, see? That's the problem. It was just this slow trickle of strange behavior that I kept brushing off. I was tired, I was sick, and I trusted him. I spent that whole week making excuses for someone who was clearly checked out and living a whole other life. And I haven't even blocked him yet. I know I should. Part of me wants to call Marissa and ask if she had any idea. But honestly, I don't think I'm ready for the truth. I'm just so damn tired. I keep staring at the bag I packed for him like it's cursed, like it has bad energy. I've genuinely thought about tossing it out the window. So yeah, that's where I'm at right now. You'd think I'd be having some big meltdown, but honestly, all I want to do is go to bed and wake up in a reality where none of this happened. I know that's not how life works, but I don't know. I'm stuck. I don't know what the next step is. What I do know is that I'm done being the placeholder. Not gonna lie, I don't even know what that looks like yet, but I guess I'm about to find out. No idea why I'm posting this, really. Maybe I just want to know if anyone else has ever felt this stupid. Like, am I missing something? Is this what dating's like now? Do people actually treat each other this way? Anyway, if you've made it this far, thanks. My dog's barking at something outside again, which I'm taking as my cue to wrap this up. If anything new happens, I'll post an update. So, first off, thank you to everyone who commented or messaged me after that last post. Seriously, I didn't expect that kind of response. A few people said they wanted to know what happened next, and not gonna lie, writing this all down is kind of like free therapy. So here we go. I wish I could say I woke up the next morning feeling empowered and ready to take on the world, but nope. I woke up with my dog's butt in my face, a text from my mom saying vitamin C helps, and 27 unread work emails. Life doesn't pause just because yours falls apart, apparently. I didn't block Marcus right away. For 2 whole days, I kept checking his stories. I know, dumb. I stared at my phone way too often, half hoping he'd call or message or say it was all some kind of sick joke. Instead, he posted a photo of himself at a bar, surrounded by people I didn't recognize. Then another shot of his dog. And for a moment, I started second-guessing everything. Like, did I overreact? Did I hear him wrong? But each time I replayed that phone call in my head, I could hear the way he said the word filler like it was some backhanded compliment. And it made me angry all over again. Not just at him, but at myself for being so available. I was sick with a fever, packing his damn suitcase like some kind of assistant, while he was out playing the star of his own story for someone else. I felt like a complete fool. And the strangest part, everything else stayed exactly the same. I still had to run errands, walk the dog, text my sister Tessa back about her new place, pretending everything was totally fine. When I finally told my mom, she hit me with her classic advice. Maybe this is a sign to focus on yourself for a bit. Which, yeah, okay, wise words. But not super helpful when the guy's stuff is still all over your apartment. That's when things started to shift. I was lying in bed eating dry cereal because, once again, I was out of milk and doom-scrolling social media. Marcus had posted a throwback photo of the two of us from last summer with the caption, "Good times." Excuse me? Are you trying to give sad boy energy now? What is that even supposed to mean? It hit me hard. His stuff is still here. His crusty old sneakers, the hoodie I always stole, and his never-ending graveyard of half-broken earbuds were still sitting in my closet. I texted Jade, my best friend, the one who thrives on chaos, and she didn't hesitate. Get rid of it, all of it. Don't give him a single excuse to come back. So I did. I started with the sneakers and just kept going, one thing after another. By the end of it, I had 3 full garbage bags of his junk. And honestly, it felt amazing. I almost held on to the hoodie because, let's be real, it's super soft. But then I remembered his stupid laugh during that call and tossed it in the bag too. I ordered a rideshare, loaded up the bags, and had them dropped outside his apartment building. Then I texted him, "Your stuff's out front. Don't come back." Blocked him everywhere. Phone, socials, even Venmo because I refused to deal with one more. "Hey, can you send me $4 for coffee?" Text. And that was it. Done. Finally over. But of course, Marcus doesn't understand the concept of done. 2 days later, I'm at work, trying to stay focused, when the front desk buzzes and says someone's there to see me. And before they even say his name, I already know who it is. There he is, standing in the lobby with one of the garbage bags in hand, looking like a pathetic, heartbroken clown. I don't know if he thought he was making some grand gesture or trying to embarrass me, but I walked right out with my arms folded and said flatly, "You need to go." He immediately launches into a rant, tells me I'm overreacting, says I'm making a scene, and even claims no one else would take him back after what I did. Which honestly is laughable, like I wasn't the one sneaking around and lying. He tries to follow me back inside, and I put my hand on his chest to stop him. Not rough, just firm enough to make it clear, "You're not coming in." And then he grabs my wrist, not gently, and for a split second, all I see is red. I snatch my arm back and snap, "Don't touch me." That's when the security guard steps in, calm but direct. "Sir, I'm going to have to ask you to leave." Marcus drops the bag and storms off, but not before punting it into the door. It bursts open, earbuds flying, one sneaker goes bouncing down the hallway like a sad little reminder of everything gross about him. I stood there fully aware that every single person was watching. Then I gathered up the mess and tossed the whole bag straight into the trash room. The rest of the day, total blur. Couldn't focus. My wrist throbbed where he grabbed it, red and sore. I kept going over the moment again and again in my head, wondering if I should have shouted, made a scene, done more. But honestly, I just wanted it all to end. Later that evening, I get home and find a handwritten note taped to my front door. Unmistakably his writing. It's long and rambling, full of scratched-out words and half-hearted attempts at apologies. At one point, he literally called me a cold-hearted snake. I wish I were kidding. Then he added that he'd always thought I was too good to be interesting. Like, okay? Pick a narrative, Marcus. Am I too boring or too cold? You can't have both. I ripped it up and tossed the pieces into the compost bin. My dog immediately tried to eat them. Typical. I called Jade, filled her in, and she just goes, "Well, at least you took your power back." But honestly, it didn't feel empowering. It felt like I'd just taken out the garbage, literally and emotionally. And it got worse, because apparently Marcus started telling mutual friends I'd gone off the rails, said I freaked out and turned psycho, claimed he was afraid I'd destroy his stuff. Now I'm getting side eyes from people I used to hang out with every week. One girl, someone I actually thought was my friend, DM'd me suggesting maybe I should have let him down easier, as if he didn't dump me via voicemail while half drunk at a pool party with some bikini-clad stranger on his lap. Sure, let me bake him a cake next time too. I started avoiding everyone, stayed off socials, muted half my contact list. I just put my head down and tried to survive the week. My mom kept texting me soup recipes. Tessa, my sister, sent me a constant stream of "men are trash" memes. Honestly, the only thing that felt normal was walking my dog, watching him absolutely lose it at every passing leaf. Then came Saturday night. Marcus called from an unknown number, and I knew it was him, because who else makes voice calls anymore? I didn't answer. He left a voicemail, slurring his words, saying he missed me, saying he couldn't believe I'd done this to him. I deleted it without even listening all the way through. On Sunday, I got home from the store and found one of his old t-shirts crammed into my mailbox. Why? Like seriously, why? I didn't touch it, just shoved it to the bottom and left it there. If the mail carrier wants it, they can keep it. I'm done. I don't know if this is revenge or healing or just some weird limbo, but it's something. And if Marcus ever dares to show up again, I'm calling security the second he sets foot on the property. Hopefully nothing else happens. But if it does, I'll update. For now, I'm sticking to my soup, binge watching garbage reality TV, and pretending this whole saga never happened. And seriously, if you're ever tempted to pack someone's suitcase while you're half dead with a fever, don't. Just don't. Hi again. And yeah, I know. I wasn't planning to post this soon, but this week has been so weird and exhausting, I feel like if I don't get it all down, I might actually explode. Sorry in advance. This one's long, and it's not the fun kind of drama. It's the kind that makes you want to scream into a pillow. After the whole incident, trash bags at his door, Marcus being escorted out by building security, which I can't believe is a real sentence I'm saying about my own life. I really thought things would just fade out. Like, okay, he blocks me, I block him. We move on. Maybe awkward eye contact at the dog park in 6 months. Tops. But apparently Marcus doesn't go quietly. Or maybe I'm just not as forgettable as he assumed. Who knows? The first sign of fresh chaos came Tuesday morning. My mom calls, not just to check on my hydration levels this time, but because she got a call from the building's front desk. Yup, you read that right. Apparently Marcus showed up super early and told them he forgot his phone charger. Classic lie. Then he asked to be let into my apartment. They told him no, obviously, but since he looked distressed and started pacing around the lobby, they decided to call my emergency contact, which of course is my mom. So now she's convinced I need a panic button installed in my place. Classic mom move. I sent Marcus one final message. Told him flat out, don't come near my building again or I'll take it further. I didn't leave room for confusion. I made it crystal clear, then blocked that number too. By this point, I was running on fumes. Still recovering from the flu, completely sleep deprived, and surviving on Spite and caffeine. But of course, things got even messier. Out of nowhere, I started getting random DMs from mutual friends, people I hadn't talked to in ages, asking what happened. One guy, Theo, didn't even try to be subtle. Just jumped straight in like, did you really toss all of Marcus's stuff in the trash? No hello, no context, just straight to the gossip. I replied that no, I didn't throw anything away. I bagged it up and had it delivered to his doorstep, which honestly is more grace than he deserved after what he pulled. He responded with a shrug emoji and then ghosted. Great talk. Then Alyssa, more Marcus's friend than mine really, messages me saying maybe I should give him a chance to explain because he's really hurting. I gave her the short version, told her he lied, cheated, and called me a placeholder. She hits me back with, that doesn't sound like him, and then has the audacity to ask if I'm sure I didn't misinterpret things. Yeah, because I totally hallucinated an entire phone call and several Instagram stories. Right. I didn't even bother replying. Just left her on read. Now I'm getting weird energy from people I thought were at least neutral, if not supportive. Not everyone, but enough to make me start second-guessing myself. Like, am I overreacting? Did I do too much? Am I the crazy ex now? And then Tessa, my sister, bless her for still following him, sends me a screenshot from Marcus's latest story. It's a close-up of his dog with the caption, "Wish loyalty was contagious." And yeah, it stung. I hate that kind of sad boy BS works on people, that they see his mopey posts and have no clue what he's actually like behind the scenes. Then random things start disappearing from the mail area in my building. First, my box of protein bars vanishes. Then my dog's brand new leash is torn open and tossed under a table like trash. I'm not pointing fingers outright, but the timing? Kinda suspicious. I asked the front desk if anyone had seen anything. They just shrugged and said it could be anyone, but they'd keep an eye out. Not super helpful. I'm not ready to go full tinfoil hat, but I do find myself double-checking the locks every night now. Eventually, I decide I need to talk this out face-to-face, because texting isn't cutting it. I meet up with Jade, my ride or die, and we just let it all out over coffee for 2 straight hours. She tells me I did exactly what I needed to do, that people always take sides, and usually it's whichever side yells louder. Then she says, if anyone's dying to hear his side so bad, let them date him. I actually laughed, real ugly laughed, for the first time in days. But even after that, the tension didn't disappear, because the very next day I saw him, Marcus, standing at the corner by my building, just standing there, holding his phone, like he was waiting for someone. I took the long route home, looped around the block, only went inside once I was sure he'd left. Later, I texted my landlord asking what the policy is when someone keeps hanging around the property. He said if it continues, they'd issue a formal warning, and if it escalates, the police might have to get involved. Not ideal, but at least I know I'm not powerless. Then, of course, it escalates. Saturday night, I'm curled up on the couch watching some ridiculous baking show, and my dog just loses it, barking like we've been invaded. I peek through the peephole, and there he is, Marcus, drunk, banging on my door like a maniac. Loud enough that the neighbor's baby starts crying. I could smell the booze through the damn door. I yelled at him to leave, told him he wasn't coming in. He started off all pitiful, saying he just wanted to talk. Then he flipped, started shouting, and threw his bag at the door. Something smashed. I didn't open it until after he left. When I finally cracked it open, my flower pot was shattered and dirt was scattered all over the hallway. That was it. I was done playing nice. I called building management and reported everything. They promised to send him an official warning. The next morning, my neighbor, and this sweet older lady who always gives my dog treats, pulled me aside. She told me she heard everything and said, if I needed a witness, she'd back me up. I thanked her and apologized for the noise. She just waved it off and said, men are exhausting. Honestly, preach. But as if that wasn't enough, I get a phone call from work. On a Sunday. Why? Because Marcus, apparently having no sense of boundaries left, messaged my old boss to ask if I'd been acting off lately, like he was genuinely worried about my mental health. I still don't know how he got the number, but I was horrified. Now I have to assure people that I'm not spiraling, that I'm fine, and it's just my unhinged ex trying to play victim. So yeah, I'm officially dealing with fallout from every possible direction. Marcus lurking, friends talking, my mom panic calling me twice a day, my dog jumping at every hallway sound. I've even considered moving, but that feels extreme and, let's be honest, expensive. And really, why should I be the one to leave? So for now, I'm keeping my head down, pretending like none of it's getting to me, even when it totally is. The one silver lining? This whole nightmare has made me militant about my boundaries. Like when Marcus tried to DM me from some spammy backup account, I blocked it without hesitation, didn't even open it. I told my friends, if you want to hang out with him, cool. That's your choice. But I won't be there. I told my mom, if you're going to stress, at least send cookies instead of article links about home invasions. And when my landlord had the nerve to hassle me about the noise, I finally stood up for myself. Told him point blank, I'm not the problem here. If you want good tenants to stay, maybe stop letting creeps linger around the entrance. He didn't say much after that, but someone did come clean up the hallway dirt the next day. So yeah, fallout is exactly what this feels like. Not closure, not healing, just the mess you're left with when the bomb goes off. It's just been chaos and I'm beyond exhausted. Honestly, if I never lay eyes on Marcus again, it'll still be too soon. But I guess I'm slowly figuring out that sometimes peace isn't something you find. It's something you create for yourself, even if no one else understands it. I know this isn't the clean, satisfying ending anyone hopes for, but it's where I'm at. So if anyone out there has advice on how to shake a clingy ex short of fleeing the country, I'm all ears. Otherwise, I'll keep doing what I've been doing, staying low, blocking relentlessly, and just living. If anything else happens, or if he finally loses interest and disappears, maybe I'll post again. But for now, I'm just praying for one uneventful week, one calm, quiet, drama-free stretch of normal. Real talk. I wasn't even sure I wanted to post this one. I mean, who wants to admit their life's still a mess after all that drama? But apparently I've become the unwilling star of some reality soap no one signed up to watch. So here we are. This is for anyone who asked if Marcus finally backed off, or for anyone who's ever had an ex pop up like one of those spammy pop-up ads you just can't close. It's been about 4 months since all of it. The fever, the suitcase, the filler, not the main event phone call, and the trash bag drop-off saga. Life now? Not great, not terrible, just a different. I ended up moving, just a few blocks away. Not because of Marcus directly, but mostly because my old landlord started getting weird after the whole flower pot door incident. And of course, the rent went up. My new place is smaller, but the window's actually open, and my dog is way happier. Less hallway drama, more sunlight to nap in. I bought a new couch off Marketplace, one of those build-it-yourself monstrosities that make you swear for 2 hours straight. But it's mine. My mom still calls every other day. But instead of asking if Marcus is stalking me, she's back to asking what I've eaten and reminding me to take vitamins. She even mailed me a giant jar of those gummy ones she swears are immune boosting. Drama repellents, apparently. Tessa came to visit for a weekend, brought overpriced coffee and her signature commentary on how breakups are character building. She's not totally wrong, but she's also never stuck around long enough to deal with the mess that comes after. So yeah, I thought I was finally past it all. But then last Saturday happened. I'm coming back from a walk with the dog, juggling groceries, when the neighbor's kid, the one who always wants to pet my dog but is secretly terrified, runs up to me and says, "There's a man crying outside your door." I actually laughed. Like, sure, kid, sounds fake. But then I heard the voice, and before I even turned the corner, I knew. It was him, Marcus, sitting on the floor outside my apartment, knees pulled up, head in his hands. He looked rough. Not sad ex rough. I mean sleep-deprived, unshowered, wearing the same shirt for days kind of rough. He had a bag with him, one of those hideous canvas ones he always claimed he'd never carry. I guess he ran out of places to go. I stood there for a second, seriously debating whether to just pretend I forgot something and walk right back out. The neighbor kid was staring like this was the best reality show she'd ever seen. My dog started barking, so I stepped forward, shoved the groceries through the door, maybe a little harder than necessary, and said, "What are you doing here?" Not angry, not sad, just done. He starts rambling, says he's sorry, says he can't stop thinking about me, that everything spiraled, that he made a huge mistake, that the other girl meant nothing. He's crying, actual tears, and for 1 second I almost feel bad. But mostly, I'm just annoyed he dragged all this back to my doorstep again. I tell him flat out that he needs to leave, that this isn't his home, not anymore. He says he's got nowhere to go. that even his friends are fed up with him. His words, not mine. That he doesn't know who to talk to. He tries to stand, wobbles, and grabs my arm. It's not gentle. It's desperate. And my gut reaction is to yank myself away. My grocery bag tips over. Oranges scatter down the hallway. My dog's barking like we're under attack. Marcus keeps going, louder now, says I'm the only one who ever got him, that he's lost without me. I try stepping back, but he follows, grabs my wrist again, and I just snap. I shove his arm off me, maybe harder than I meant to, and say, "Get out." He flinches, still doesn't move. I say it again, louder. People start opening doors, curious eyes watching. He finally gets up, wipes his face, and begs, "Just 5 minutes. Let me come in." I tell him no. He pleads, says he won't leave until I talk to him. That's when I say it. "If you don't leave right now, I'm calling security again, and this time I won't be nice about it." He stares at me for a long second, like he's weighing his options. Then he says, "Just give me one more chance, please." And I say, loud and clear, "Absolutely not." He doesn't take it well, starts yelling and says I ruined his life. At this point, my hands are shaking, not because I'm scared, because I'm furious. I tell him, "You ruined your own life. Now walk away." He actually tries to push past me, tries to get inside. So I step forward and slap him. Open hand, right across the face. Not proud of it, but in that moment, it felt earned. He stumbles back, stunned. Finally understands I'm serious. He grabs his bag, mutters something I don't catch, and walks down the hallway. My dog's still barking. I stand there in the doorway, watching him go. And for the first time since all of this started, I don't feel guilty. I don't feel relieved either. But I feel firm, certain. Neighbors are whispering. One mom gives me a look like, "Want me to call someone?" I shake my head, thank her, start picking up my groceries and what's left of my pride. I call my mom, tell her what happened. She says she's proud of me, offers to come stay the night. I tell her I'm good. Tessa FaceTimes me, tells me next time I should go for the throat. She's joking, I think. The next morning, there's a note slipped under my door. Just one word. "Sorry," I don't reply. Don't unblock him. Don't do anything. I drop it in the trash, right on top of the eggshells and orange peels. Fallout's not over yet. My neighbor says Marcus has been sleeping in his car for a few nights. Someone else heard he tried to crash at Theo's, but Theo told him to get lost. One of our mutuals texted me saying Marcus is telling people I assaulted him. But honestly, I don't care anymore. Let them whisper. Let them take sides. I know what happened, and the people who matter know too. I wish I could say this ended with me feeling healed or wise or free, but honestly, I'm just grateful for the quiet. I don't know what comes next, but if you made it this far, thanks for reading. I hope your week is calm, boring, uneventful, and if your ex ever shows up crying at your door, just remember, you don't owe them a damn thing. That's it for now. Maybe I'll update if anything wild happens. But honestly, I'm really hoping I don't have to. And that sounds kind of amazing.